Welcome back, all my 1-1 chickens of the world. This is the Angry Chicken Brawl, for you must be this tall to brawl. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and I'm sitting here with Jocelyn Moffat. And Dills sadly couldn't be here today. He's helping some family out. They had a car accident. I believe everyone is fine, but he's being a good Samaritan. So, in his stead, we have... you guys are basically interchangeable. We have the other awesome male of shows that I do with co-hosts, Kyle Fergusson. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be back.
I'm glad to have you here, and it actually, I feel like it works out fine because there's going to be some free-to-play discussion on this episode. And you, sir, have you ever even spent a cent on this game?
No, I have not.
Not even
wonderful.
one?
Nope.
Wow.
Kyle has been playing since launch and has not spent a penny. Not a penny, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got the hot take from the lifelong free-to-player here. Anyway, we're here today to talk about You Must Be This Tall to Brawl, the latest brawl to come to the tavern when all of the Azerothian denizens have had maybe a few too many Stormstout brews. And in this tavern brawl, only minions that cost seven or more mana are allowed in your deck. So it is a constructed brawl. You get to pick your class. There's nothing fancy. You're not starting with extra friggin' armor or a weird hero power or choosing your destiny with the discover mechanic. You're just building a deck, but everything all the minions have to be 7 mana or over. So a couple of interesting things. Spells that summon minions, Power of the Wild, Animal Companion, stuff like that, totally fine. You can kind of cheat the system that way because they are a spell and give yourself a little bit of early game board presence utilizing spells like that. Also, because of the 7 mana requirement for minions, Druid's stupid strong in this brawl. Just dumb, just play Wild Growth, just play Innervate, and yes, dust off Astral Communion because it is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to commune with the Astrals, whatever that is. So...
The other low-cost minions that are actually playable, I found out, are anything that comes off of Ysera. So even though it's a low-cost mana minion, you can still play it.
Right.
You just can't put them in your deck.
Exactly. The barrier to entry is during the deck building phase. So anything that appears in your hand otherwise, Unstable Portal, for example, could give you a minion, and most likely will, under 7 mana, because stats. So yeah, anything you're blocked at the deck creation phase. After that, it's a normal game of Hearthstone, as far as you can tell. Except
we really need Summoning Portal for Warlock to be a spell, right? It should.
Well, there is a summoning portal in the game, but what it does is it reduces the cost of your minions. So it doesn't actually bring you minions; it just makes your stuff cheaper.
Right, but it's a minion that I have to pay 4 for, and then I should just get a spell, Hunter style, so I can use it in this particular brawl.
Yeah, that's what Kyle was saying is he really wishes he could use Summoning Portal in this damn brawl. So.
Well, actually, I wish I could use it anytime at all.
You wish it was playable?
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, Kyle.
I need my turn 7 Mal'Ganis, man.
We can't help you there. Only Ben Brode can help you now. Help me, Ben Brode. You're my only
I actually
hope.
didn't run into any druids doing this at all. I ran into tons of mages doing secret decks, which just gives you a heart attack because it's a copy.
Yeah,
Mirror Entity.
Mirror Entity all up in this mother. And then they're probably, why not duplicate,
Vaporize for the first time ever.
Vaporize. I have been loving the tweets and emails from people who are just like, eye for an eye on this brawl, yeah!
Yep.
It's great.
It's because there are no small minions that are going to allow them to easily pop your eye for an eye. I mean, there's obviously a couple of hero powers, but in general, and plus still, no one sees it coming. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, why use my hero power when I could just hit you in the face with something that has 8 attack? Oh, wait,
eye for an eye. Crap.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice world to live in, folks, where eye for an eye is a playable card. I like this world. I wouldn't mind staying for a little while. You know what else I love about this? Big Game Hunter costs less than 7 mana. Suck it, dwarf!
So you can just have fun playing all your big bomby minions.
Yep. Yeah, you have to use removal. Like I played this with a druid deck, got my card pack immediately. And I was actually running mulch. Like, so.
Nice.
And it worked. It worked out. It's like, fine, I don't care. Draw a card, get a minion. I don't know how Druid works. I know I'm getting screwed in some way by casting this, but it doesn't matter because Innervate and Wild Growth is broken in this brawl. So I was getting out some big minions. I was also getting out some small ones, little 3/2 Panthers. They were adorable. And yeah, things just worked out. Also, Savage Roar is still a thing. So
Yeah.
Wait, the one that gives things +3?
yeah. Well, you do your Savage Roar on top of your Force of Nature.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
the
spell.
combo still
So
works.
yeah, you get. I'm a terrible person. I didn't have fun with this brawl. I just played to win. So I was like,
No.
all right, Druid. Here's all my mana ramp. Here's a bunch of things, and I'm gonna put in Savage Roar slash Force of Nature because I'm just mean. But you know what? It was really effective. Because all you need is one big minion to stick, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, my math on Force Roar is ridiculous now, just because there's already 8 damage on board. So let's really lay it on thick. So how have you guys been doing? Kyle, what did you play as a free to play player? I'm curious.
I mean, the first place I went, because my main deck is basically a Reno handlock, I went to my Giants and tried that out. And Warlock doesn't work so well here because
Warlock's so terrible.
yeah, well, you have to trade all that early game health. It's like, haha, I'm hiding behind, but there's nothing to hide behind because you're both waiting, and then you both have giant things, and you're at 16 and they're at 30.
Yeah, and all of your little dudes that would give your big dudes taunt, you can't play.
Nope.
So it's like, darn it, why isn't there a giant with taunt?
And holding out for Jiraxis, that's not going to do you much good. So I ended up bailing out of that and going over to my Hunter because my very first deck I made in this game was a Beast deck. And then that turned into a secret kind of deck, as that was very cheap to make out of dust and whatnot. So I did get my pack and won 2 games off my secret deck.
Oh, so you played Secret Hunter.
It was kind of lame because I killed them before they got to 7. I got really lucky with my secrets.
Ah.
And they were doing a Hunter too, but they were summoning the little guys, so it triggered my secret, so I had a whole bunch of arrows and whatnot.
Were you running Animal Companion and Unleash the Hound so you could, have sub 7 mana minions?
Animal Companion was awesome, and so was Bear Trap, but Unleash the Hounds, as you might assume, never worked out well.
Yeah, I would. Right after I said it, I'm like, why did you say that? It's going to suck in this because you're paying so much mana. The chances of there being a large board presence is pretty slim.
You're like, all right, Dr. Boom, fine. Oh, no, this isn't what I...
Yeah, I guess Dr. Boom, yeah, it's like, well, I'm going to play this card and hope for Dr. Boom. Wait, I don't want to hope for Dr. Boom. I should probably just not play this card. Because that's, yeah. When your best case scenario is they drop Boom on curve, probably not building your deck right.
No, and Sea Giant doesn't work out well.
No,
Which one is Sea Giant?
that's the one that it gets a discount based on the number of minions on the board.
Oh, right. Okay.
So again, not.
Because I was thinking the one that I played was, I think, Frost Giant, the one that gets the discount based on your hero power. That worked really well in Hunter because every turn with Hunter, I was like, ping, ping, ping.
Yep.
And then so all of a sudden I was like, oh, hey, Giant on like turn 5. Nice.
It's actually, yeah, that's super smart. I should go back to my Druid deck and put Frost Giant in because who cares?
I really like Frost Giant.
Just be a bigger jerk.
So there was, I think Molten's worked. The one where you want, I guess, lots of cards in your opponent's hand even was fine because this is a brawl where basically you're both sitting on big, huge hands of cards. So, yeah, Giants were good.
So what do you guys think of the discussion going around that this brawl is A, bad for free-to-play players, and B, being called straight up pay to win?
Well, convince me first. Like, what am I missing out on? What cards are so OP that a free-to-play player couldn't create or wouldn't already have, right? Because I have a Dr. Boom. Granted, I got in a pack. It was my second pack in GVG.
You're a lucky man.
I know, right? And I just sat on it. That's my favorite part of being free-to-play is you guys are going to have your release, and I log in, and whoever I beat, I lose all night, right? Because there's all these new cards that I don't understand. But the guys I beat, I know that they're pissed.
Because they just spent a ton of money, and you're sitting there being like, yeah, I can go buy a new Xbox game right now because I didn't buy cards, and I just won. You mad, bro?
Yeah. Oh, weren't expecting that demon fire with Mistress of Pain, were you? That's how we do it.
Love you, Kyle.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously you're not the target demo for being angry because you've been playing for free since the very beginning. So you've had a long time, even though you've been playing for free, to accrue dust, to accrue gold, and to slowly build up your collection. The first point that was kind of brought up, I think I first saw it mentioned by Disguised Toast, which is like, if you're a fresh free-to-play player, if you just unlocked all your classes and nothing else, there are not enough cards in the base set to build a 30-card deck for this brawl. Which, arguably, I guess you could say it makes this brawl pay to win, but I would argue that it makes this brawl you should just have played before the week of this brawl. Like,
I can see a pay to win, or even, I mean, in that case, that's almost pay to play. Like, you have to have cards to build a deck. If you don't have enough cards, then you literally can't even play.
yeah, I mean, I still kind of take issue with that though, because I would make the argument that it's play to win. If you were just playing the game naturally before this week, you would most likely be fine. In most cases, you know. Obviously, it depends on how much you play. You know, if you play 1 day a week and you started 4 weeks ago, you may not have enough cards to do this. But I mean,
I think the key at the 7 mana point is that a lot of things post 7 mana are epics or legendaries. So, you know, you're missing out on all of your dragons. You're missing out on, you know, just your giants. Your giants are epics that cost more than that. So if you haven't had the chance to kind of build up that collection, there's not actually a whole lot post 7 mana that is rare or common. They are pretty hard to come by because they're supposed to be big, huge, powerful cards. And so they get a rarity that's kind of tied to their power as well as their mana cost. So I can see how that 7 mana kind of entry makes it a little bit more pay to win than normal, because there's just not that many cards in the game, especially minions, that cost more than 7 mana.
Not down with the captured Jormonger. Got your force tanks maxed. North Sea Kraken. I mean, that's all you need. There's 6 cards right there.
And then if you just play Druid, you've got Ironbark Protectors. Yeah.
Now, I'm really confused on the Druid stance, because don't you just do your astral whatever and then accidentally get another mana crystal card?
In theory, yes. If you have
I think my
Garrett
heart
luck.
can't take that bummer, or even that chance of the bummer.
Well, that gives you card draw, right? If you draw your Wild Growth after you've Astral Communioned, then you get a free card draw.
Yeah,
Fair
you just cycle the card out.
Yeah.
And then you see what you get. I mean, but can't your heart take the potential for the awesomeness that is, I just get to keep playing cards because I've got all the mana in the world?
I don't know. I can't even play Call Pet because it just breaks my heart too often.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. Jocelyn, the point you bring up, which is getting a little bit away from pay to play, and just the fact that this is probably the single hardest brawl we have had for free to play players. Because you are absolutely right. If I went to Hearthhead right now, just for shits, you know, went to cards, minions, typed in filter, minimum mana cost, 7. And the amount of yellow gems, orange gems I am staring at is astounding.
Well, I mean, it's everything. You've got your Sneed Shredder, you've got your Rend, you've got all of your dragons, all of your giants. There's so many cards up at that level that are just so even the stuff from the adventures. Rafam, he's 9 mana, right? I think. Yeah. So, yeah, it's an expensive place to live.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, I do feel that, and that is something I definitely I sympathize with. This is a very tough brawl for free to play players.
Well, and even I mean, you mentioned Astral Communion. There's a couple of people in the chat saying, yeah, Astral Communion Druid, great way to go. That's an epic card. So there again, that's a very big deal. If you haven't already just randomly had the luck of opening it from a pack, that's a huge dust sink.
Yeah, you don't need it though. I never drew mine, and I won just fine in my very first game. You can do this without a bunch of crazy cards. Now, Kyle, I'm curious. I want to see your deck now, as because you're a longtime free to play player, so I'm assuming you had Dr. Boom in yours.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
I had all my giants.
Congratulations, your brain is functioning. You are actually still alive.
Yeah. You see 7 mana and you start your deck build with boom. You're doing it right.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry, you're playing Hearthstone. You start your deck build with boom.
Yeah, true.
Can't go wrong, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm curious, like, what I'm missing out on. Like, I was never able to complete the Grand Tournament. Or not the Grand Tournament, the Adventure, the most recent one.
League of Explorers.
League of Explorers.
League of
You
Explorers,
still
yeah.
haven't finished it.
Sadly, I took my money and I said, you know what? About 3 months ago, I'm really into these dragons right now. I'm going to complete BlackRock. And then they announced that that's going away. So I messed up
No,
there.
you're good. You're good.
you're
BlackRock's
good with
fine.
BlackRock.
BlackRock's
BlackRock's
fine.
okay? Okay.
Yeah.
For now.
Next year, BlackRock will go away.
Yeah.
And
Still might disenchant this Major Domo. I don't know what I'm going to ever do with him.
I don't think you can because he's from a adventure.
Toads
Yeah, you
can
can.
now.
Yeah, you can now. You can disenchant all the cards now.
What?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Like a month ago?
How did I not
Yeah,
know
it was a
about this?
patch, yeah.
It was a what?
The patch that came out on that Monday, it was part of the announcement of Old Gods. So
Wow.
whenever that Old God announcement happened.
Well,
they
we
gave you
suck,
the-
guys. I know we didn't cover that on the show. That was not mentioned.
No, because it was well, that's the thing. It was part of the patch that was also announced with Old Gods, so we were talking mostly about Old Gods. But yeah,
Gotcha.
no, that was like back at the beginning of
Wow,
March.
that flew completely under my radar.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it makes sense because you'll be able to craft them again. So who gives a crap?
Yeah.
Right, and good for people getting rid of their Naxxramas cards and whatnot.
Chat room saying you'll be able to. You made it sound, Jocelyn, like you can right now.
No,
I can.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure you can go into game right now and disenchant them.
Oh wow! All right, I'm gonna go get rid of Major Domo. Dust for me. Oh man, that makes me ecstatic. I love nothing makes me happier than disenchanting crap cards.
But there's always that chance, right? That's why I can't do it. I don't know if there's going to be some brawl that's like you will die in 2 turns unless you turn into Draxus. Or,
I don't like Brawl that much.
No, I'm definitely not focused enough on Brawl that has any kind of impact.
I know.
I'm already sitting on 3,300 dust right now, waiting
Yeah.
for the
Nice.
expansion.
Yeah,
so
I know somewhere Dills is in the distance going, no, never disenchant anything. And I'm just like, I disagree, sir, entirely. So in the shredder you go, Major Domo. I'm sorry. You're a bad card. You're a very bad card. So great. Jocelyn, what deck worked for you? What did you end up playing?
I played a Hunter deck. I also played Paladin. Paladin was actually really strong because you've got your 1/1 dudes, you've got all your buff spells, you've got your like muster for battle. So basically all you do is get dudes on board and then buff the crap out of them. And I was playing my Hunter deck and I was doing pretty well. And then I got my butt handed to me a couple times by Paladin and then I gave it a shot. And like all the buff cards that like you never play because you have minions to play that are just better at those early like mana curve times. I mean, like there's just blessings of everything. And all of a sudden it's like you can double your attack and you divine shield and plus attack. And it's when you actually like go and look at it and there's no opposing minions on the other side of the board, those buff spells are ridiculous. So
wow.
yeah.
I did not even think about that, getting muster for battle to get you minions on the board. Because I'm looking at Paladin, I'm like, well, Paladin's out of the question because I need lots of small minions dying all the time to get my secrets.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's how you do it.
If you want to do Secret Paladin.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so Secret Paladin, you've got Eye for an Eye, you've got Avenge, you've got Noble Sack. So if they do get anything down ridiculously early, like a Molten Giant, you have a Noble Sack sitting there that kind of protects your face a little bit. So yeah, I think I went with, and the other one, Redemption. So they do throw down something big, and then all of a sudden it's got 1 health, and you can just kill it with a dude. Like, so it takes them, 2 or 3 big drops to actually get through to your face. And in the meantime, you've probably killed them with your buff dudes.
Yeah, so there's definitely a way to build a Paladin deck that works for this with secrets. You just can't think of it as net deck Secret Paladin.
Ooh,
Oh, no, not at all,
Holy
because
Wrath.
Challenger isn't a thing.
Holy Wrath for the win. Draw a card and deal damage equal to its cost.
Yeah.
That did actually happen to me.
But you can still play a paladin with secrets, because what else are you going to do in those early turns? Just load it up with secrets. By the end of it, you still have your Christmas tree, and you just start playing giant minions that are getting protected by Get Down and stuff like that. The next deck I want to try in this brawl is just like a dragon secret paladin, like throw in all the paladin secrets, get equalities, throw in some consecrates for board clears, but then put in all the big dragons, use Chilmaw as like a third consecrate, like... I want equality before I play him and put him on so that they're just sitting there being like, oh, does he have it? Because my 2 giants are 1 health and this is going to suck. And I totally have it because there's just an Alexstrasza or a Ysera or a Netharian just sitting in my hand. Nefarian sitting in my hand. It sounds like fun. I don't know how well it'll work, but that's the next deck I want to try in this brawl.
I think I did giant secret paladin was what I did. I had all the giants and then all the buff cards. It was good.
Yeah, that works. That sounds like it works really well.
Let's just get rid of 6s. Like, how about that? Just into the future, no 6s. No Sylvanas Windrunners. No no mysterious challengers. Like, that sounds pretty good. Not even Brawl, just forever.
Right.
No force of nature?
No life bombs.
Well, if you're playing standard, light bomb's going to go away anyway.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, I think Sylvanas should just go back to 5 mana. That sounds fine, right, guys? Yeah. I like Sylvanas.
No.
I like this because now I'm learning what kind of makes Kyle tick in Hearthstone. Apparently, it is 6 mana cost minions.
Yep.
And Light Bomb, which is a spell. Really, Kyle? Light Bomb? That's what's giving you a hard time.
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it. If I'm doing my Warlock thing and I'm about to Shadow Flame everything, Light Bomb messes you up bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, it does. Actually, with Giants, just in general, if you're playing like a Reno Handlock, like you were saying, yeah, Light Bomb is a bad thing to see. That's no fun. Well, any closing thoughts on You Must Be This Tall to Brawl before we take a crazy game story?
No, I think I'm good. Paladin good, Druid good, done.
Jocelyn, yeah. what would you give this brawl?
Oh man, I always forget about this crazy rating system part.
You know what else? We all 3 of us forgot about last week, but
yeah, I give it 2 Molten Giants, but no taunt.
I'll give it 7 drops out of a curve through 7 and 10, whatever that may mean. Kyle,
I give it 2 full hand Mountain Giants.
Nice. Well, let's thank some of our patrons because they're the reason we are doing this extra episode every week. If you enjoy the show, check out patreon.com/TAC. That's where you can go to support us. This episode, let's thank 2 James right off the bat. 2 Jameses. James Crowder and James Gershner. Thank you, guys. Sebastian Moeller, Alvina Chua, and Bruce Woodward. Again, my apologies to people who, like me, have last names that don't make immediate sense to people in America. Thanks again for your support, guys. Let's take a crazy game story.
Is the whole world gone crazy?
You're in trouble now.
You got it!
You can send your crazy game stories to tacpodcast@gmail.com. Tom writes in. Tom says, "Hello, rowdy roosters and heckling hen." I'm going to start calling you that from now on, Jocelyn.
Aww.
Starting into this brawl, I decided to craft a mind game / resurrection priest. The goal, to play my opponent's large minions on turn 4 and then keep rezzing them if I could. It was up and mostly down, but on my 6th or 7th game, I ran into another priest. I mulliganed into my mind games and won resurrect and had the coin. I smiled, and the game was on! Turn 1, he used mind vision. I passed. Turn 2, he hero-powered his face and passed. I followed suit in the way of friendly priests. Little did we know of the chaos looming on the next turn. Turn 3, the chaos turn, according to Tom. He used Thought Steal. I used my coin and played mind games. The sandstorm appeared, and out comes Nosdormu! This is amazing! This is worth 6 or 7 games, or however long it took him to get to this game.
Yep.
Turn 4, he plays a Thought-Stolen Shadow or Death. I resurrect Nosdormu and Mind Vision, gaining nothing else but my opponent's resurrect! Holy shit! Turn 5, he plays his own Shadow Word Death. I then proceed to draw my second res, play the 2 in my hand, and 2 Nosdormus are on the field. Turn 6, he uses Mind Blast, and I smack him in the face with the 2 huge bronze dragons. He then conceded, and I was sad. As abruptly as the chaos began, it ended. It was insane, fast-paced, and quite the crazy luck. Anyway, love the A-Move podcast, even though I don't play most of the games. That's fantastic. Thank you for them. Good luck and blessings to you. Oh, Tom, my God. This might be one of the best crazy game stories we have received in a while. I loved it. I did not proofread it ahead of time. I laughed. I cried. I made stupid voices.
You did very well.
Thanks. This is just fantastic. I want to go build this deck now and go try this.
I think it sounds really cool. That is actually one of the classes that we didn't talk about in the Brawl was Priest. And, I mean, they've got some pretty powerful tools. Entomb?
Yeah.
Mind control. That happened to me earlier.
Yep. Yeah, no, Priest is pretty cool here. They don't have like a lot of big minions themselves within their class, but you can just take your opponents.
Yeah,
No, and their
exactly.
spells all delay. So if you're trying to do something like I was with the Hunter Secret deck, it just falls completely flat.
Yep. It's pretty sweet.
Now, there isn't double this Dormu like 15 seconds squared by 15 seconds, right?
No, it's just 15-second turns.
No, that effect does not stack, although that would be pretty phenomenal if it was like, what would that be? 7.5 seconds would be your turn. Enjoy, mortals.
If we're going off of Back to the Future rules, they can't see each other, right? Otherwise,
That's true. Otherwise, the universe implodes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but they were brought back via magic, via a resurrection spell. They weren't brought into the same plane of existence through time travel. So
okay. So
we're
you're
dealing
going with
with
like the Prestige kind of thing, where as long they're just copies.
Yes, yes, exactly. He has Nosdormu actually has a basement with a row of 16 tanks with dead bodies of himself in all of them.
Like, you gotta do it for the magic show.
Yeah. But you don't see it coming because, of course, you're not looking for it. This is one of my favorite movies. I love The Prestige. Also, Batman versus Wolverine. Go, go, go.
Oh yeah,
I haven't actually seen it, so.
Really? No,
Yeah.
it was, I think that was the last movie that Christopher Nolan did before he started doing the Batman films.
Ah.
So it is phenomenal.
I've seen the other one that's kind of about magic too, with Edward Norton.
The Illusionist.
Yes.
I
They have
have
actual magic though, don't they?
I have not seen that
Maybe.
one. I have not seen that one because they came out at the same time, and
Yes.
for whatever reason, I was like, I saw The Prestige. I'm magicked up for the year, even though I love Edward Norton. I can't believe I still haven't seen it. Edward Norton is one of my favorite actors. So
That was just 2008 or so, where they kept doing that. They did that with Prototype, and then what was the video game? With the other superhero?
Infamous.
Infamous. Yeah, it was just the year of doing
Those
that
two
stuff.
came out the same damn like the same damn time, and they looked identical. I'm looking up The Prestige. Was that 2008? 2006
No.
was The
Okay.
Prestige. And The Illusionist, I believe. Unless it was, one was at the tail end of the year and one was at the beginning of the year. But they came out at almost the exact same time. So
I have to say, L Train just like wins the chat room right now. He's like, so Dill's too short to brawl this week?
oh, that's so mean. Poor Dill. Dill gets so much crap about his height every
He's
time.
not that short.
No,
he's
it's just that
average
we're all
height.
freakishly tall.
He's
okay,
average height, and we're all freakishly tall. So he gets so much crap at any time we're all hanging out at either Nerdtacular or BlizzCon. I feel bad for him. But whatever.
He's not even average height. Like, he's still tall. He's like 5'10" or 5'11".
Yeah, he's
Like,
not a short guy.
No,
he's not a
at
short
all.
guy. He just unfortunately does a show with us and Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm short compared to you. Well, Joss, I'm pretty sure you and I are like the exact same height, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because I think that you're the tallest woman I think I've ever met. And then Kyle, you dwarf me. So
Yeah.
Because I'm used to being the tall person, and then I go to Nerdtacular and I'm like, son of a bitch. Everyone, giants, all of you. Anywho, that's going to do it for this episode of the Angry Chicken Brawl. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again to our patrons for making this episode possible. Also, keep those reviews coming to the Brawl feed on iTunes. So thank you, Monchex, D. Hess, and SHC Robdo. I don't know what that name means. I may be swearing in a foreign language. I don't know, but thank you for your 5-star review. Check us out on amove.tv or youtube.com/amovetv. Big fat thanks to our Patreon producers, Declan H., LVE, Peter Williams, and Maddock. Get our merch over at bit.ly/amovestore or our t-shirts on slashloot.com. Follow us on Twitter at TAC Podcast and catch us live next Tuesday night for our next Prime episode at 4 p.m. Eastern Time right here on twitch.tv/amovetv or on alphageekmedia.com. And thanks to BrianGriffinMusic.com for our intro music. Kyle, where can folks find you? You're our guest.
Oh, you can find me in, 2 hours? On ITN, Into the Nexus podcast.
Just you? Just that's a little egotistical of you, sir. I believe there is someone else involved in that show.
Yes.
Nah, I don't think so. I've heard it's just the Kyle show. He's got all the skills.
It's just the Kyle show. Thank you, Jocelyn. Yeah. Thank you.
I do a great Garrett impression for it, though.
I'm just going to leave.
You're there too, Garrett. And we love you.
But yeah, go check out Kyle Fergusson. Check out Into the Nexus in a couple hours, folks, if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, search for Into the Nexus on iTunes and subscribe and hear Kyle and I ramble on and on about another game that we love called Heroes of the Storm. Jocelyn, where can folks find you?
Twitter and Twitch, I'm at Joss Plays. You can find me right here on A Move TV every Wednesday night for the Gamers In. And tonight we're doing game night, so tune in for that as well.
Awesome. Follow me on Twitter at Garrett Art. Find all the other podcasts I do on amove.tv. I will, let's see, this week, what should I recommend? I'll recommend The Angry Nerd. Got a new one of those up, talking more about The Division, talking about Batman versus Superman. I would highly recommend becoming a patron of The Angry Chicken so you can check the after show out from Tuesday's episode where we talked at length about Batman versus Superman and spoiled the crap out of it. And then I felt like the more and more we talked about it, the less and less I enjoyed it.
Less and less you enjoyed the talk, or less and less you enjoyed the
movie? I had a blast talking about it with you guys, but the less and less I enjoyed the movie. So go check those out. And that's going to do it for this episode. See you guys Tuesday for the next Prime episode. See you tonight for Heroes of the Storm. Job's done.
Job's done. I was waiting for Kyle.
Waiting for Kyle.
Oh, yeah. Just letting you guys do your thing.
Yeah.